Okay, so next question. Can the herbs be taken while pregnant or breastfeeding or while you're on medication? And the simple basic answer to that is I can't answer that, right? That is something that you have to have answered for you by a qualified medical professional, right? Now, having said that, I know my audience, I know a lot of them have completely lost faith in the medical profession, so let me add a couple of caveats to that. So that's what you need to do, full stop anyway. However, I would particularly recommend to do that in the case of detoxing herbs, right? So herbs like bupleurum or containing bupleurum, herbs like wormwood, I would not recommend having those personally while you were pregnant or breastfeeding. Most of the herbs in the line are herbs, in fact almost all, like at least 95%, I think more of the herbs that we do are tonic herbs, like 100% tonic, and so they are safer. However, you shouldn't have large quantities of parsley while you are breastfeeding, for instance, because it can dry up your breast milk. And so there are various issues like that, right? And I can't speak to that because every situation is different, every person is different, and I cannot take on any medical liability, right? So that's something that you have to deal with your medical, with a medical professional. Definitely the same for on medication, right? Not only won't I answer that, I actually couldn't answer that. I'm not an expert on all the medications out there. There are, thousands and thousands and thousands, and they all have complicated side effects. I think everyone, even a medical doctor, would agree that in an ideal world, we wouldn't need to be on medication in the first place, right? So that's the point that I'm obviously want to be myself, and that's the point that I want you to be at as well. However, that doesn't necessarily happen overnight. Sometimes that can take a long time, and in some cases that's not even possible, right? So wherever you're at, that's the place to accept to be at. And the point is this: if you are on medication, then my recommendation is definitely go and see someone who understands those medications and how any herbs might interact with them, right? Don't risk it, because yes, there is that possibility. Just as there is with culinary herbs, right? So, for instance, you shouldn't use garlic and blood thinners together, right? So tonic herbs are the same. They're no more dangerous than the culinary herbs that you might be consuming, but they're no less dangerous either. So in the same way you need to be careful with culinary herbs, you also need to be careful with tonic herbs, and yes, check with a medical professional.